your builds actually move on their own every time you look away. And what if everything you've ever known about the Minecraft world has been a lie? Today, we're testing to find the truth. Starting with who built the trail ruins? And did they actually abandon this structure? Or were they forced to? In the latest version of Minecraft, Mojang added the new trail ruins after delaying it for 3 updates. But why now? Why would they add these new structures and bury them deep below the ground unless there is a secret they don't want us to find? Except since the entirety of the ruin is pretty much covered in dirt, debris, stone, and rubble, you can't really tell what is going on. So perhaps by clearing it, we'll be able to get a better idea of what is actually here. So let's use World Edit to replace any stone, dirt, suspicious gravel, and grass blocks as well. So we're getting rid of the surface. Let's get all rid of that with air in 3, 2, 1. What the? Look at that. Fascinating. I mean, this looks like a path. The path has this like center and it's connected to like these houses, some giant building in the middle, but everything has clearly been broken, destroyed. How did it end up underground? I began searching through each and every one of these buildings to find the clues. And by typing %app data % to access all of your computer files, I discovered that it isn't actually just one structure. No, these ruins are multiple structures coming into the Minecraft game files. We can then go to versions, and we of course want the version with the trail ruins, the latest version currently available at the time of this video, 1.20.4. There it is, except all you get is this .json, which if you open it is a complete bunch of globbity gloop, and a jar file that if you open this is even more globbity gloop. This literally looks like a virus. However, there's a trick. If we go ahead and rename this file from .jar to .zip, this will allow our computer to actually correctly read this file. And then we're going to come up here to compress folder tools and extract all. Now the folder's extracted, we can open it and see the globbity gloop was hiding real files, including the ones we actually care about inside data, Minecraft, structures, and finally, trail ruins. There are 4 folders. It proves the theory wrong that this is a single structure. No, it is 4 different structures: buildings, decor, roads, and tower. And further looking into these files, you see a bunch of MBT files, which are coding, showing that different trail ruins spawn in different biomes. So what if they were actually all parts of one giant civilization puzzle? So I traveled to every single trail ruins and used World Edit to copy every road, building, and tower. Then I pasted these structures onto a separate world where I can compare them side by side. You are not going to believe this. In fact, let's just start simple before I blow your mind. Do you see it? Look a little bit closer. If you guys see it, let me know in the comments down below. And if you don't, let me spell it out for you. This is a desert well. That's right, it's the exact same dimensions, size, and it even has suspicious sand, which obviously is found in the desert, alongside orange glazed terracotta, which are only found in desert villages. But it's just the beginning. Let's come over to this structure. Does this look familiar to you guys? We've got a hole here, empty, but next to furnaces. That's right. This is a blacksmith from an ancient village. But why are they buried deep under the ground? And look at this one, guys. This looks almost identical to the pillager outpost. You can see the outlines of the roof here. And then they're using black glazed terracotta, which is usually associated with evil things. There's even 3 different levels here, just like the pillager outpost. But why would they abandon it? And why were they all combined? A desert well? A village house? A pillager outpost? These things are never together unless they were all part of one mega civilization years ago. Everyone living together in peace, in harmony, in these trail ruins. But trail ruins don't spawn near villages. In fact, looking at this official Minecraft Wikipedia page for the trail ruins, it says that they generate in the taiga, snowy taiga, old growth birch forest, and jungle biomes. These are all old biomes, and other than the taiga, villages don't generate in any of the other 4 biomes. So if this theory is true, then these civilizations would have to existed way before the villages ever spread out, but I'm gonna need more evidence for that. I mean, the blocks do line up. The glazed terracotta, crafting tables, a loom. And then in the blacksmith that we saw earlier, also a blast furnace and a smithing table. So these are blocks that would belong to villages, and what's even stranger is the pillager outpost used to have blast furnaces, suggesting again that they were in harmony, but how did they end up here? Was this some sort of different species? Not pillagers or villagers, but in fact, ancient villagers? Although that is very far-fetched. I mean, there's no real evidence of an ancient villager species, right? Unless... Wait a minute. Guys, suspicious sand. Do you remember? It was 3 whole versions. 3! That Mojang promised to add the archaeology feature, but it got postponed until version 1.20. Why? Perhaps it's because they were placing clues for us to find inside our suspicious sand and gravel in the form of pottery sherds. Maybe the answer is hidden in them. I mean, look at it closely, guys. That looks like the face of some sort of villager. And it's called the friend pottery sherd, which means perhaps the villagers were a species that came after the ancient villagers, and the ancient villagers created these trail ruins. In fact, I think the sherds show us many other things, like what they used to do, what they used to be able to do, the mining, archery, and, I mean, they're still able to do farming now, but there was so much more. But why would the ancient villagers leave their home? Unless, were they forced? Watch until the end of the video to find the true answer. Next up, what if the Minecraft world isn't flat, but actually round? Except everything in Minecraft is made up of blocks. Sure, the world might not be totally flat, there's hills and mountains, but it's gotta be a cube at least, right? I mean, look at the cow. That thing's a cube. Look at the tree over here. Blocks. Bruh. Even the sun and the moon are squares. There's nothing in this game that's round. Except... look at the render distance, guys. Okay, it's kind of hard to tell because the world's not entirely flat, but look at the way it curves. It's a rendering in a circle. But, I mean, that's because the world is infinite, right? I mean, surely if we looked at it, if we were able to go high enough and look at it from space, it would be a cube, right? Except, wait a minute. It's a circle. Wait, if the world is flat, then it can't be infinite. You need to fall off at some point. Surely, I mean, there has to be an end. And no, the world border isn't the end because you can just fly past it using commands. So, how can an infinite world even truly exist? Imagine this is your Minecraft world. And here you are on the overworld. At some point, if you continue to go in this direction, whether it's flat or a cube, you should hit an edge where eventually you would fall off. Maybe? In a previous video, I showed how it was possible to travel beyond the Firelands and the world border. So I'm doing the same thing here and just flying as far as I can. So eventually I should reach an edge and prove that the world is a cube. Except, I've been flying at hours point. And as laggy as the world is, you can see it's really struggling to keep up with generating. I still haven't found an edge. It still manages to keep generating and generating and generating unless there is no edge. The Minecraft world is actually round. So let's assume that this is the answer. It's all one big circle. And if we're a player on here, it means we can continue to go around in this direction, except there's a bit of a problem. How come when you're on the other side, your screen doesn't flip upside down or you fall into the void? The simple answer, gravity. Duh! Except it's actually a lot more complex than that. I mean, just like in real life, Minecraft also has gravity, which is a force that pulls you towards the center of the world, the reason why you don't fly off infinitely into space wherever you walk or jump. It's that simple. Any other shape other than a sphere, gravity simply wouldn't work. That's just not how physics works. Except, again, it's not all of it. There's another crucial piece of evidence: the Nether. You see, the Nether is not just some mysterious place, only accessible through Nether portals. What if, in fact, it's actually right below your world? I mean, why else would we call this beautiful top area the overworld? And I found an entire dedicated Reddit community of people who have spent months, even years of their time researching this topic in order to finally come up with this diagram. Look at this, literally got like 5.1 thousand upvotes, like in a single month. Unbelievable. But this is a masterpiece of work. So here we have regular Earth, and here we have the Minecraft world. And what do we have when we dig to the lowest point of our Minecraft world? A layer of bedrock. That's this layer here. And guess what's on the Nether roof? The top end of the Nether, it's also another layer of bedrock. And then in between those two layers, there is a small layer of void. The other thing about this is it explains why traveling 1 block in the Nether is equivalent to 8 blocks here in the overworld. Because if it's a sphere, you can see that the distance of the arc of the circle here in the center is smaller, but when you come out and you draw the lines forward, that area actually gets bigger on the outside arc of the circle. The math all lines up. Minecraft literally doesn't make sense unless the world is round. But then how is everything else a cube, and how can you get past this in-between void layer to make it to the Nether? Because as far as I'm concerned, no one's ever done that before. Have they? And if you thought that was mysterious, do you know the real reason why ghasts cry Minecraft? First, let's understand the basic facts of ghasts. These are hostile Nether mobs that shoot fire charges. The same as blazes, except blazes, well, they don't do that. The scream, the iconic scream. And you know what else ghasts do? They drop these ghast tears. Why are they crying if they're trying to kill us? It just doesn't make sense. And they don't just magically start crying when we start attacking them. No, they're just always crying. But then here's where it gets weirder. What do you think these ghast tears do? Well, if we grab ourselves an awkward potion and some blaze powder here, well, they create a potion of regeneration. Something that restores your health. Why are tears restoring your health? And why would something that's trying to kill you then magically give you healing powers? I need to find out. I delve deep into the history of the ghasts. And if we come to the wiki to learn more about the history of the ghast, we'll see in version 1.11 that the ghast used to have a life tag, which was previously used to separate mobs that are living from the undead mobs, like zombies or wither skeletons. But in this patch note here, Mojang removed it. It was no longer used for anything. We can verify this with a splash potion of poison, because all undead mobs are immune to potion effects. We throw this on the wither skeleton, no particles, no damage. We try again, no particles, no damage. Now let's come over to our ghast and see what happens here. All right, bam. Instantly damage particles until eventually it wears out. So potions affect the ghast, which shows it's clearly a living entity. It's not undead, but then why would Mojang remove the life tag from it? Look at this. There is an unused ghast sound called affectionatescream.ogg in the game files. Listen to it. That's the affectionate scream. But why is it called affectionate? Were ghasts friendly a long time ago? That's why this sound effect is now unused. What changed? We need to find out. Unless, what if they're being forced? I mean, in one of our previous videos, we showed our Endermen scream because they have humans trapped inside of them. What if the ghasts have something trapped inside of them as well? But what? This list of nether mobs also isn't helping me very much. There must be another way to see inside of a ghast. Yes, there is! This is the Mob Bestiary, the official guide by Mojang themselves to every single Minecraft mob. So if anything, this should hold some clues to the origins of the ghast. And what I found really interesting is it is the only mob that doesn't just have a single page like, you know, every other single mob. No. It has 2 pages dedicated to it separately in the book. So I thought maybe there's something hiding in the image. If you look a little closer, do you see that there, guys? Here's the mouth connected to the esophagus, the tube, and in the back there's this giant, you know, black textured thing. And then again, even further, if you look, you'll see just above that black textured thing, there's like this black arm, almost like an Enderman arm, but it could also be another black mob. And that's what I'm getting at. I think that perhaps there is another Minecraft mob in here that's black, like cave spider, but I guess that's kind of blue. Could Enderman be inside of ghast? That seems bizarre. Maybe it could be with a skeleton. That has, look at that. It's a similar texture to what's used for the inside of the ghast. Actually, what happens if it was, take it a step further, the wither itself? After all, wither skeletons are made by the wither. Could the ghast also be made by the wither? But no, that just doesn't make sense. We'd be able to clearly see some sort of feature of the wither like we can with the wither skeleton. Whereas with the ghast, the only place we're seeing that same texture, as you can see it again, that's got the wither texture, but it's on the inside. There's no way we would know this just playing Minecraft unless... What if the wither boss was trying to create another wither mob using the ghast, but it failed? Does that mean the ghast was originally a friendly mob, and now all that remains is a mutant between the good ghast and the evil wither? Good on the outside, but corrupt on the inside. That would certainly explain why the life tag and the affectionate sounds were removed. And wait a minute, what if every time that a ghast shoots a fireball and screams, it's not because it's angry or trying to kill you, but because the outer body is still good and it is warning you? And now, back to finding out who actually forced the villagers to abandon their homes in the trail ruins. I found another pottery sherd, which might be the answer to all of our questions. And it is this creeper, which seems very normal until you see the name, Danger. Why is it called Danger? Other mobs aren't. I mean, the sniffer is snort, skeleton is just skull, friend is villager, player is arms up, and the warden is mourner. Even the warden is not called Danger, only the creeper. And this is strange. Why were ancient villagers afraid of creepers? Because if we grab out a creeper and let's say a husk and then a villager, we're gonna see a very interesting phenomenon. The husks, or the zombies, they're going to attack our villagers. They chase them, the villagers run away. But then at the same time, creeper and a villager, they live happily, they coexist. What? These villagers are not afraid of creepers. Creepers don't blow up villager homes. Could things have been different back then in the ancient civilization? And if so, what changed? Unless could creepers have exploded the trail ruins and broken their homes, forcing them to run away? Is that what caused this peace and harmony of civilizations to end? Is that why these structures looked destroyed? Or could this be something a whole lot scarier? Comment what you believe down below. Thank you to all of these guys for making today's video possible. You're my new favorite EY Mega fans. If you want a shout out, just click the join button below this video, scroll down and click EY Mega Fan.